quite a different one. This is a personal essay. It's actually my Common App essay. It's called Confessions of a Doorman's Daughter. I never was much of a speller. Sounding it out never made any sense to me. Silent letters hide between syllables, my ears cannot see them coming. The Albanian language has 36 letters, the English only 26. There are words that don't have enough in them, others that have too many. Letters, the sounds they produce, and the words they make cannot be trusted. In second grade, I lost the spelling bee on the word privilege, but now, 9 years later, if I had a do-over, I would spell it correctly. I frequently run out of letters to describe the way my father comes home from work. I can't put into syllables the sound his keys make when he opens the door, but be careful, the doorknob is coming undone. You might break it if you pull too hard. No combination of 26 letters can give justice to the way he greets me, the way his arms wrap around me as if he were holding me for the first time. The silent I love yous, the quiet te-duas, etched into my forehead by kisses from years past, they teach me the best kind of love, the silent kind, in which no letters, no sounds, and no one can hide behind. My father works as a doorman on 40 East 78th Street, about 17 subway stops from my doorknob-breaking Bronx apartment, and only 18 blocks from my elite prep school. When I first entered Trinity, I found fear in this proximity. There were days when self-worth and wealth sounded the same to me, when private drivers and Cartier bracelets were all that I could see. And there were days when I felt as if I would always lose a spelling bee. That privilege would always sneak up on me, force me to spell it out, laugh at my failure, and send me back to where I belong. I lived in fear that someone would figure out my secret, and that I would never be anything more than a doorman's daughter. But I am not a doorman's daughter. I am my father's daughter. I used to think his heart ran out of room for all the love he had, so he stored all the extra love in his large belly. So I have learned to store extra love in my hands, to say I love you with my embrace. I've sat on his knee, listened to the stories of our first years in America, and I have laughed with him, and I've cried with him. I know now that there is strength in admitting fear, that sometimes laughter is the only sound I can rely on. I remember made-up bedtime stories about Papa Cristo Volane, his pet parrot that always got in trouble, and have realized that to be a writer, I must first know my characters inside and out. I can hear his voice bringing folk songs to life, leading everyone into melody while he put his arms around their shoulders. He has shown me that to be a leader, I must first join voices and be heard. On Sunday afternoon, when he came back from the flea market, he's pretty cheap, he handed me a journal and said, "You know what to do." I now find comfort at 2 a.m. on my bed, untying the knot in my stomach only my pen and marble notebook can undo. He has made me into a writer, has caused me to swallow the world and spit it back in letters, syllables, and words that make sense to me. Letters, sounds, they are on my side now. I know now that privilege is not spelled with dollar signs and private drivers. It is made up of letters only a doorman's daughter knows how to pronounce. And no matter how you sound it, spell it, or say it out, love will always be spelled D-A-D.